What up, what up, what up? You are now listening to the Art of Winning podcast with yours truly, Eddie Trump Gordon, and the one and only Mr. Amazing himself, Miyoko Taylor. And we got an awesome show ready for you this week. Welcome to the Art of Winning show. It's me, Eddie Trump Gordon, and I got my amazing co-host, Mr. Amazing himself, Miyoko Taylor. What's going on today, Yoko?
What's happening, everybody? What's going on, Truck? I see we got a little guest.
We got an Action Jackson. He makes the advances from here to there. But I'm super excited about today's guest. We are always raising the bar, setting the standard high. We got Dr. G, aka Dr. Julia, on the show today. How you doing today?
I'm great. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all ours.
No, the pleasure is definitely ours. I would try to pronounce your last name, but I won't even do it. I'll let you give you the floor to take over the show. But I'm gonna jump right in because we were picking your brain before the show started, and I'm blown away by you. Like literally, since I seen your Instagram feed, I fell instantly in love. You have you have that it factor. So I'm not gonna steal your thunder. I want to ask you first, what is your mindset? Like, what sets you apart from everybody? And tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm from Jersey originally, and I think that's a big part of my mindset. Yeah, I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, to be exact. And I'm also the first American born in an Italian family. So that right there, being first generation in this great country of ours, is what makes me different from a lot of people. So culturally, I'm savvy. Interpersonally, I'm savvy. I've seen a lot. I've met a lot of people, and I can relate to just about anybody because of that upbringing.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, I just fell in love with you even more because, we got a very similar background, very similar story, and you're a winner. Like this is the Art of Winning show, and you are definitely a winner. I'm not gonna try to steal the show, Yoko. So by any means, please jump in and cut me off. But I have so many different questions for Julia. When you being the first in your family here, did you feel like that was extra pressure on you to succeed because you kind of had it quote unquote a little bit easier than them?
It wasn't extra pressure really to succeed. It was pressure to survive because, we didn't have very much. So my parents are not very, they weren't very focused on education. One has like a third grade education, the other went to 8th. So it wasn't really a big deal to them whether I did well or not, but it became a big deal to me to be the first one in the family to get my education. So it wasn't pressure to succeed as much it was pressure to survive, because there were moments where I had 4 jobs and 18 credits in college. And there's moments when after I started my practice that I had 4 jobs just to also pay the mortgage and not give up on my dreams. So it's always been survival. And because of the survival being so strong, I've been able to succeed.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Again, Yoko, I don't want to steal the show.
So you're on the topic. So part of your specialty, what you do for people, is in the area of mental health. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? As far as what area of mental health are you focusing on, and what you've done for people thus far in your profession?
So I don't have a specific specialty right now, but I do work with a lot of depression, a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of eating disorders come my way, anxiety, depression, the things that we were always told not to talk about as kids, right? Because I don't know how it happened exactly, but for some reason, mental health has gotten this negative stigma to it. And if you have a therapist, you're crazy. First off, and now since I have had a personal therapist now for about 12 years, and so now I'm bougie because I do that. So there's always something of a negative connotation when it comes to mental health, and I really wanted to stop that stigma, because a lot of times what has happened to us is preventing us from getting where we need to go. So we got to talk about it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I just want to chime in here for a quick second, because we're going somewhere. I can feel it's going somewhere that's very important. It's going to help a lot of people, because as an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. And one of the things that is the least talked about among the whole culture, because everybody wants to be an entrepreneur now. You look at it like it's the sexy, appealing thing. You know, they see the private jets, they see the houses, and they see all these the materialistic propaganda behind it. And they don't understand, to be an entrepreneur, because you're an entrepreneur yourself, Eddie's an entrepreneur, to be in business for yourself, to be in the business of branding YOU, you go through a lot of emotional ups and downs. And I cannot stress this enough to a lot of people, but this is not talked about. We always see the people talk about grinding and hustling and doing what it takes to succeed and working 18-hour days and all those other things. But we never really hear them talk about what goes on behind the curtain, underneath the surface, you know, behind the mask. And this is reality. There were times where, I mean, I was in tears, you know, in my bed, laid in the fetal position in tears, because nobody understood me. I had a vision that no one really understood at the time. And I really didn't have the support that I needed. Or that I felt that I needed at the time. And I think this is something that you're hitting on is a sensitive area, but it is something that every entrepreneur goes through. Not only just every entrepreneur, every human being in every walk of life, but it's not talked about. I mean, I agree with you 100%.
No, I think you're spot on, Yoko, and this resonates to me, Dr. G. Literally it resonates, because I battled depression, and I tell people all the time, like, we can't, especially as athletes, being a professional athlete, your strength is almost your weakness, because you feel like you can never be vulnerable. Like you said, it's a bad stigma. It's like taboo to talk about it. And, you know, besides the fact that you obviously have a strong mindset, what kind of steered you towards that route to step outside your comfort zone, besides being from Jersey?
What made me step out into mental health is
Well, what made you have, you know, the mind frame to know that you're gonna get flack and step up and you know, talk about what nobody wants to talk about? And I think you kind of do it in a unique way.
Thank you. So the answer to that is simple, is because that's exactly what I went through. And if I just had some support earlier on in my life, I mean, the path might look even better than it does right now. So I just feel like in this entrepreneurial culture that we have going on, that's very popular on Instagram, we talk a lot about go get it, rise and grind. Gotta wake up early. But what if you wake up with panic attacks? And who are you gonna talk to about that, right?
Yes.
What if you wake up and it's so bad you can't get motivated to get out of bed? So the problem is that we talk about the rise and grind and go get it, but we don't talk about what happens if you can't in that moment. So you're not deficient, that you're not defective, you just need someone to help you process it. And a lot of times, and I always go back to this, it's because of what happened to you that is blocking you from getting where you want to go. You have to go looking through that stuff in order to uncover what the challenges truly are and why you're either self-sabotaging, or why you're not making it, or why you continue to fail, or why you won't put yourself out there. So there's so many factors. It's not just go get it, rise and grind. I can get up at 4 a.m. Anybody can. But what do we do with the self-doubt?
I'm telling you, Dr. G, you're about to make me jump out of my seat right now, because I mean, spoken from an amazing, true, thoroughbred coach. I can already tell, because I tell everybody, the real problem is buried underneath the surface. It's not what you see externally.
Yes.
It's underneath the surface, and you hit it right on the hot button. Nobody talks about that.
I'm fired up. You got me fired up.
That's right.
Like, honestly, you got me so fired up, because I just said this I spoke in front of a school, and I said it to these kids. What you see on Instagram is not the truth. Everybody's going to show you their best. Nobody wants to show you their vulnerability. And to be honest, what makes people stand out amongst the thousands and millions of people on the social media is the people that are real. You can tell. You can tell right away. So what you're saying, you're like resonating to my soul. I love you got me fired up right now. I'm blown away. Like, Guys, everybody listening right now, you are listening to Art of Winning Show. We got Dr. Julia on the show, and she is dropping some golden nuggets. I'm fired up. What do you got, Yoko? Because if I keep going, I'm gonna.
We could stay right here, man. I mean, we're in the cruise lane right now because
yes, people
often are burying these problems, these issues underneath the surface. I know myself personally, when I'm with a client, and maybe you can attest, Dr. G, one of the things that I asked them, the one question I asked them is, what was it like growing up? You know, tell me a little bit about your background. What got you here? Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? People don't have enough self-awareness to go back and say, you know what, I'm here, but how did I get here? Let me go back and start to retrace my steps. How did I even end up in this situation? Why am I depressed? Why do I lack self-confidence? Why don't I feel like I'm worthy to be successful? Why do I feel like I'm dumb? Why do I feel like I'm stupid? All these beliefs that people really have, you would never know until the camera's off or till they're out of the spotlight and all these particular things. And I deal with these people, and I'm sure Dr. G does, and you do too, Eddie, all the time. And it's just like, oh my God, who else have you talked to about this? How long has this been going on? And you find this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
But nobody ever talks about it. I'm glad we have somebody on the Art of Winning show that is not afraid to do it.
Yes, and it's funny because, not funny, it's real, because when I was going through my divorce and all my friends wanted to go out, they wanted to do all this fun stuff, and I literally always had an excuse. I always covered it because I was embarrassed, because I didn't know how to handle it. And it's not that people don't want to talk about it. They just feel like they don't have the right resources. And that's why, Dr. G, what you're doing, like, you're the hero. You're the trendsetter. People like you need to get all the accolades. And that's why I sought you out, because when I was reading your story, I was just like, oh my gosh, you're resonating to so many, not older people, but most importantly, the younger people. Because those are the ones that are going to be dealing with the problems the most, and those are the ones that are committing suicide, getting bullied.
Every day.
Every day. And it scares me, because having 4 little boys, my biggest thing, I say, if you see somebody, getting bullied, you need to stand up for them. You guys are popular. If you ever use my quote unquote celebrity status, to pick on a kid, that's ground zero for, I can't even deal with it. But I want them to stand up for kids, because I was bullied when I first came in, being an immigrant. So it resonates what you're doing, and I salute you, because that is huge.
Absolutely, salute. And you know what the thing is, what I love about your message is you're letting people know that these feelings are normal. That's part of the big problem, because when somebody feels depression, when somebody feels down, they don't feel worthy of success, they don't feel worthy to do anything in their life that seems worthwhile. That's actually a normal feeling. That could be something they experienced in the past, from their peers, from their environment. Sometimes these depression and these experiences that we have are because of the environments that we have allowed to cultivate around us. But all in all, these are normal feelings. All of us, everyone in the world has felt inadequate in some way, shape, or form in some area, mentally. But this is not talked about. It's just like, oh my God, depression? You're depressed.
So look, and Dr. G, how would you recommend somebody to seek out help? What would you say? How would you give them the guidance, give them the vision to seek help?
Well, from a very practical standpoint, I mean, you can get therapy texted to you in 2018. You don't really have to go very far. I have clients that are in Qatar, in the Middle East, in Australia. Wow. All you need is Wi-Fi, and we're connected. But I think that one of the things I just want to mention, because we talked about kids, and I work with a good population of children too. And the thing that I see a lot is that parents are always thinking that their kids are willful, or they just got a bad attitude, or they have behavioral problems. And a lot of times they skip over the very important fact that their brain is not developed to respond the way you expect them to. So stop beating your kids down for not always saying the right thing. We have to remember that they're growing and they're developing, right. And full brain development happens at like 24 years old. So cut them some slack and understand understand too, like maybe there's a brain issue going on. I have a lot of kids that reach out to me on Instagram that want to kill themselves because they think that they're so stupid or they're so depressed, and their parents are saying things like, what's wrong with you? Instead of finding the solution, and I really want parents to become solution-focused problem solvers, and instead of saying what's wrong with you, I want you to start saying, how can I help? You know, what is it? What do you need right now in this moment to get you through this difficult point? Some parents I work with are great. Others, they're the ones that need the therapy.
Wow, that is ginormous. That is so huge. Everything you say just resonates with me, because I did not realize the power of writing a book until, like you said, somebody reached out to me via DM, and I was just like, you know, they got personal. They got so personal, and I knew that I was on the right track when somebody said this, that I didn't have no idea that somebody like you could go through being bullied, go through being picked on, go through being depressed. And I was thinking about taking my life, and now I know that I'm not alone. And that gave me the aha moment. That was the wow moment. And I was like I have a purpose now, and that's why I love to do what I do. So again, Dr. G, you are blowing me away. I honestly don't think, I think that we need like a 2 hour show with you.
This is very important stuff.
It's groundbreaking stuff that nobody talks about, and it bothers me. Like, I'm a very passionate person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I can see that Dr. G, you're the same way. Like, you tell it like it is. You don't sugarcoat it. You let it be known, and that's what I love about you. I'm gonna go on a completely different tangent, because you just said you're from Jersey. Philly's right next to Jersey. We're coming up on the biggest game in the universe, the Super Bowl, the Pats versus the Eagles. And really quick side story, I'm rocking with the Eagles for 2 reasons. I'm going with Philadelphia. 1, because I don't know if you saw the Dutch Destroyer story with the young man that passed away from cancer, and the Eagles took care of his family. You got to check that out. That is absolutely amazing. But 7 years ago to date, I started fighting because I went to Philadelphia to watch UFC 101, and I fell in love with it. And just the fans were so passionate. So I'm glued in. I'm rocking with the Eagles.
Yes. So me too. I have my eyes on Philly this weekend. I'm from Jersey, but I'm a diehard Saints fan, always will be. I love the Who Dat Nation. But this weekend, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Eagles, because they are so passionate, and they're also a little dirty, and I love that about them. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles too, being a Jersey and myself. And I think it's about time they won one. I think they have a good core group of guys. And, you know, I think they're going to pull this one out. I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised at how well they perform.
I like it. All unanimously out Philly. That's it. So everybody's going to give us a cut in a percentage when they all win all this bunch of money.
Yeah. So Dr. G, we have something we always do on the show. When me and Eddie are on here without a guest, we always issue our guests a challenge. We truly believe that the best way to learn is to have something immediately applicable that you can apply. So since you are our honored guest and you have given us so many valuable things, I agree with Eddie, we could have a show for a couple hours, because this is something that needs to be talked about a lot more often. So what would you leave to our many listeners today? What type of challenge do you want to challenge the people? Everyone out there that's going to watch this is going to look at you and have that aha moment. What is something that they can do right now, the moment we end this podcast?
Okay, so I'll go to my old trusty, and that's my organic ways of improving your mood. And that is to be sure that you're working out every day between 30 and 60 minutes a day. You can do that right now. Take a really honest look at your diet and start eliminating all the toxins that you're putting into your body, because food is mood. And then finally, maintain good sleep. You know, you guys that are breaking night on the weekends and then going out Thursday, showing up to work on Tuesday, your body just can't handle that. Your brain can't handle that. So in order to have excellent cognition and to be able to face your day today, you're going to want to go to sleep and get a good 6 to 8 hours.
All right, you heard it from Dr. G. That just punched me all in the face.
Yeah, I'm blown away. I love it because I preach health as well. So I love it. And I never heard food is mood. So that for me is absolutely awesome. I love Dr. G. You are a G.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm blown away. You gotta tell all social media, all of our fans, listeners, where they can follow you on your platform, because I know I'm gonna blast you out on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and like I wish I could give you my blue check mark because you need it. So Instagram, I'm tagging Instagram in this post. We gotta get Dr. G her
blue check mark
because let me tell you something. You're the real hero. You're the real celebrity. Like you're dropping like gems. I'm blown away. Like honestly, after we finish this show, I'm gonna pick your brain because like you resonated to me on so many different levels. So the stage, the floor, the mic, everything is yours. Take it away. Tell everybody where they can find you, what's next for you, and just it's all yours. This is your time.
Thanks so much. So it's very simple. Defining Moments _LLC is my Instagram handle. Facebook is Defining Moments LLC. You can find our new website on definingmomentsllc.com. And there you can see the rest of my amazing team. I've got some incredible partners, Michael and Christine Soto and Tanisha. Just shout out to you guys for making us so purposeful and meaningful in other people's lives. So coming up for me in this year is really just to continue my focus on outreach, to touch as many lives as I can, and to continue to be a servant leader, helping you guys reach your maximum potential by understanding why you're where you're at right now. So I appreciate the support.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right, Truck, you got anything else? I'm fresh. This was an amazing podcast as always. Definitely a different spin. But the art of winning is not just about people who have been successful in business and all these different areas. The art of winning is as much as it is. So I love this. I absolutely love it.
I'm with you, man. Amazing show. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. And you heard it here. Defining Moments LLC. Go and follow. Not like immediately, ASAP. So I love it. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on. I'm like blown away. You got me in today was my aha moment. This was definitely a defining moment.